What's up, Chandler? On this beautiful day, I want to welcome everybody to Chandler Fire Station 281. This fire station has an amazing complement of emergency response resources, but most importantly today, we get to introduce you to Battalion 281. Can we speed this video up? I'm Shane, and I'm going to talk to you about Battalion 281. So you may be asking yourself, what exactly do we do on this amazing fire truck? Well, let me tell you a little bit about the responsibilities of a battalion chief on Battalion 281. First is communication. So important in every aspect of our life. We have to be good communicators. That's no different in the fire station 24/7 or on an emergency scene. We have to ensure communications are effective. Second, coordination. You see fire trucks and ambulances and amazing battalion chief units going to emergency calls, but how do they all know how to work together? That's a primary responsibility of the battalion chief, to arrive on the scene, assess the situation, and then assign all the fire trucks so that the job is accomplished safely and quickly. Third is what we call command, or operate in the incident command system. And that means whether it's one fire truck or 20 fire trucks, no matter how big or small the emergency is, the battalion chief builds that incident to make sure that everything is accomplished quickly and safely, taking care of our citizens, protecting them, providing excellent customer service while also protecting our firefighters. Those are some of the things that we do on Battalion 281. Now let me show you around the truck a little. All right, let's see where the magic happens. This is the battalion chief's seat on Battalion 281. Here we have a lot of the equipment that I talked about that enables us to manage emergency incidents. We have our mobile computer terminal that all fire trucks in the whole valley have. That enables us to track resources, see where emergencies are at, so that we can respond 24/7 to our citizens. Next, very importantly in the communication is radios. You see we have multiple radio decks. We can listen to various different radio channels. We can talk to our police department partners, and we can talk to other fire departments. From this truck, we can manage multiple different radios, and 4 different people can be communicating to help us resolve the scene. Next, we have some cameras. Up here, we have a camera that records emergency incidents. It's a very useful tool for incident critique and for training so that we can evaluate real-life experiences and apply them to training and to future opportunities. This is a remote camera that can also help us provide real-time information back to the command post during an emergency situation. Those are some of the resources that we have in the cab of the truck that help us out. So now let's take a look at the back. All right, so back here, a big part of what we've talked about with all this cool terminology, communication, coordination, really is contingent on accountability. We have to be accountable for ourselves and accountable for everybody operating on emergency scenes. We accomplish that in a number of ways. One is visual accountability. All firefighters have an identification sticker on their helmet. This tells everybody on the emergency scene what apparatus they're assigned to, and we can ensure everybody's working together, and obviously everybody has their name on the helmet. Next, each apparatus has an accountability tag. These are used on emergency scenes to designate where crews are operating. So if a crew is working on a certain hose line, we can hang this on it, and we know exactly who is working on that hose line and where they're at on the emergency scene. Next, from the command vehicle, the battalion captain and the battalion chief use what's called a tracking worksheet. In this, we take lots and lots of notes during an emergency scene. We designate who's working where, how long they've been working, what resources they have, what resources they need. This is a very important tool for the command vehicle to ensure all those things we talked about are being met and everybody's being tracked and kept safe on a fire ground. If for some reason one of our firefighters gets in trouble, that's a very stressful situation. They're there to be able to provide assistance to the citizens, and if they're in trouble, we want to make sure that we get them the appropriate resources to get them out of there. So that's where the accountability comes into place. In that regard, if we have a firefighter in trouble, we have some equipment here that we can utilize to assign to a crew to go assist a firefighter that's in trouble. Whether they're lost, trapped, or injured, we have equipment. This is called the RIC bag. It's the Rapid Intervention Crew bag, and it has some specialized equipment in it. First is air. If a firefighter is operating in a smoky environment and they run out of air or their mask gets damaged, this bag has a replacement mask and air. We can even pull out the hose and hook them up with some air to try to get them out of that dangerous environment. Other tools here are tools to get them out if they're entangled or entrapped in something. We have bolt cutters, wire cutters, flashlights, and other crews that we can help provide assistance to get our firefighter out of that emergency situation. Additionally, back here, we also have a triage pack so that if we're first on to an incident with a lot of patients, we can assist in getting the patients identified and determine how many patients we have and how seriously they're injured. All right, and by far the coolest piece of equipment on the truck, the satellite phone. Here we have very cutting edge technology. What do you think? It's been a while since you've seen a cell phone of this size, right? This is a satellite phone, but in all honesty, it's a very important piece of technology for us if we have a major disruption in our communication systems where we can't use our cell phones, we can't use our radios, we can't use our computers, all those things we rely on day to day to accomplish our goal. The satellite phone becomes very important to us. We can use this tool to communicate with other fire units, our emergency operations center, to make sure that we're able to respond to emergencies and handle them as we're supposed to. So it's very important. So let's give it a try. What do you think? Think we can, let's order some lunch. Maybe from the moon. Yes, half moon pizza. I'll take 6 extra large pepperoni. Oh, that pizza was so cheesy. Kind of like my jokes. But hey, we're gonna wrap this up. But you might still be wondering, what do battalion chiefs go on? What kind of calls do we respond to? And that's a great question. Every day in Chandler, there's 2 battalion chief units that are here 24/7 to protect you and to support our firefighters and to take care of them. So some of the calls we go on are all major incidents. Obviously, we're the fire department. We go on fire calls, any sort of structure fire. Also, we talked about working with our police department, so any sort of violent incident, we work with our police department, we respond to all those. And then anytime there's a safety concern, like freeway calls or a chemical spill, anything like that, where that command coordination is important, we want to make sure we have a battalion chief there. And lastly, and it's very important, is we respond on anytime there's a tragic event. Anytime a family has a tragedy, they've lost a loved one, we try to respond to those calls and provide additional grief support and information for that family. So those are some of the calls that we respond to as a battalion chief unit. We really want to thank you for joining us to look at Battalion 281 and for following along in our truck series. Have a great day. Pizza out.